This is Dulce de Light. It's the most terrifying time of the year, and there's no Halloween without a Halloween treat. That's why today I'm gonna teach you how to make a bloody cookie. Not like the slang bloody cookie, the actual cookie, bleeding bloody cookie. I'm gonna make sablé, which is a crunchy, buttery cookie, very delicious and delicate, filled with raspberry jam that's way better than blood. The first step to make the bloody cookies is to actually make the homemade raspberry jam. And my recipe is so delicious and so simple to make that you can even invite your kids to play with you and make it with you. And this recipe is really good because I lowered the amount of sugar, so you can be all thumbs up for it. And they're certainly going to think it's better than blood, says the real vampire here. To make raspberry jam, you only need 3 ingredients, and you can actually use any berry you'd like. In a pan, add the raspberries and roughly mash it with a fork. If you like big chunks in your jam, go for it. Add the sugar and the lemon juice and stir to combine. Let it sit for 5 minutes so the sugar crystals dissolve. Over medium heat, bring this fruit puree to a boil, stirring occasionally. After it comes to a boil, it will cook for an extra 5 to 8 minutes. And it's thick enough when you pull the spatula through the jam, and it doesn't fill the space immediately. Fill the jars and lids with water to cover and bring to a boil. To sterilize the jars for the jam, let it boil for 5 minutes, and using a tongue, remove them from the water. And the lids as well, of course. Do not touch the sterilized jars. You don't want your bacteria growing in your jam. Carefully fill the jars with your jam, leaving ½ inch of headspace. Wipe the rims with a clean dishcloth and close them with the lids. Place them into boiling water again and let it boil for 10 minutes. Promptly remove the jars from the water and gently place them over a countertop. The jar lids should begin to ping. That's the sound of the seal forming. And your jam will last up to a year in a cool and dark place. Just kidding, I'm still alive. With our beautiful raspberry jam in hands, beautiful, you just made that. That was very simple. Now I'm gonna start making my sablé cookies, which means sand in French. That's why this cookie is so special, because it's crumbly, it's crunchy, it's delicate, and it kind of melts in your mouth. Here, I'm adding my flour, sugar, and a pinch of salt. Add to the dry ingredients butter that must be cold so it doesn't develop any gluten from the flour and the cookie remains crunchy. And work with the tip of your fingers as quickly as you can. As soon as the butter is incorporated and the fine crumbs resemble sand, you can add the egg. This is what's gonna bring all this dough together. A tablespoon of vanilla extract for flavor that can also be substituted for lemon zest, and mix it all together just until this whole thing forms into a ball. Cookie doughs are not meant to be kneaded, otherwise it loses its flakiness. Sprinkle some flour on your countertop and roll out this cookie dough. Ideally, it would be 1/8 of an inch thick, but any thickness will be accepted here. We are not very picky in this club. Yes, we are. It's the Vampire Club. With a paring knife, cut out the piece of paper that you want to use as your mold. With the dough ready, I'm gonna cut the silhouettes. You can use any cookie cutter that you want, but making a silhouette makes the vampire bite much more realistic. Rah! Carefully remove all the excess dough, so watch out. Now we just have to fill our silhouettes with jam. That's better than blood. And bake these fake human cookies that are not fake, because there's blood. Where there's blood, there's life. Add a small amount of raspberry jam to the cookies in the area that you want to see bleeding. I want blood all over. Oh, the neck is very important if you want to do a vampire bite. In a separate cookie, make 2 small holes with the help of a skewer. Place it on top of a raspberry jam filled cookie and lightly press the edges to seal all the juices inside, bloody juices. Carefully bring it to a baking pan and bake it at 350 Fahrenheit for 15 minutes or until the edges are brown. Look at all the raspberry jam inside. I mean, blood. These butter cookies are insanely delicious. They have such a special crunch, such a buttery flavor, and has that tanginess from the raspberry filling. It's a perfect combination. I guarantee this one here will kill all your vampire cravings. This was a terrible idea. It's impossible to eat with this teeth. I can also barely talk, so back to my normal self. This was my bloody cookie, and see you in the next episode with a not so terrifying recipe. Bling!
Hey, don't forget to check out my channel for other awesome recipes, not so scary. And also subscribe to FoodTube for other amazing recipes, not so scary as well. Bye!